the art of developing, maintaining, and promoting necessary behavioral, emotional, and social skills to sustain good, effective, and efficient mental health. Next up would be social media, the most important thing for us today. We can't live with it, nor we can't live without it, especially us youth, right? So obviously social media has its pros and cons. Pros are, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat have been lifesavers for teens, especially who feel isolated or marginalized. Especially during the pandemic, a lot of youth felt connected to other people because of social media. It gives us chance to increase and improve our skill set. It is also a source of income for many people.
हाँ मैं अर्चना से बात करना चाह रही थी एक्चुअली क्षितिज बोल.
But the impact of social media on youth can also be significantly detrimental to mental health, like addiction, privacy, bullying, health, mental tiredness, strain, anxiety. So all these are the cons of social media use. Now, please put your hands together, where I will now be introducing our panelists who will be speaking on all these topics in much more detail. First up, we have Preeti Roy, who is a mental health practitioner, POSH enabler, FOXO torchbearer, NLP master practitioner. Welcome, Preeti.
Thanks a lot, Rikwed, for giving such a lovely introduction.
Thank you. Welcome. Next up, we have Sanke Konyak, who again is a mental health practitioner for the past 10 years and a trained yoga teacher. She's trained in the United Kingdom from London Metropolitan University and the University of Northampton. Welcome, Sanke. Very nice to have you. You're on mute, Sanke. You're on mute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction.
Next up, we have Maitri Gayatri, who's a youth facilitator, professor of design, and a spiritual seeker. The last one's a bit interesting, huh?
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, Rikwed, for the introduction.
Next up, we have Prisha Gadkari, a young dynamic YGPT volunteer and an avid social media user.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much.
Quite a mixed lineup we have today. It's going to be an interesting live session, I believe. I'm sure of it. So to begin with, thank you so much for being here and for being part of this live session. We have a lot of youth here today. And I have mentioned, I don't know if you listen to that, you're not going to really go into if social media is good or bad. I don't want these guys to leave. So, but definitely what is mental health hygiene, how social media is in relation to mental health. So first up, while scrolling, while all of us are on social media, right? And we keep scrolling, and knowingly and unknowingly, we are constantly getting inspired / influenced by people, posts, actions, etc. So Sanjay, first up to you. In this term, like body image is also a very important term, a very important aspect right now for the youth. So how does social media and body image work? If you can shed some light on that, please.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Rikwed. As you have shared it so profoundly, I think social media, it does have a lot of positive impact, but I think it's the most important thing is to be able to balance what we are watching, what we're reading, and you would be surprised that I don't read the news, so I don't spend my time. With the COVID times as well, I did not spend time what is happening anywhere else. I would just focus on myself, and of course, ensuring that I'm doing good and my near and loved ones are doing better. So I think it's a choice that we make, and I think because of the advancement of technology, we're beginning to have an access of lots and lots of things that's online. And then especially for young people, I think, you're giving the opportunity to the social media to define you. And that's not how it should be, right? All these things are societal norms that, if you are like this, you're beautiful. If you're like that, you're handsome. Or if you have this body, then, you're amazing. I think we're allowing the social media to define us, whereas on the other hand, it should be us defining ourselves and not allowing other people to define us. And it's a very common thing that people get, sidetracked looking at what's I use Instagram too, and I'm not saying that social media is bad, and I'm on lots of social media, but then I think being able to filter it, because if we don't know how to filter what we are seeing and what we're doing, and if we don't have the purpose of using social media, then it can really impact us in a negative way, because we get carried away, right? We have this fear of thinking that, oh, people are doing that, or people are achieving this, or oh my god, she has such a good body, or oh, look at that man, he looks amazing with his body. I mean, it's no longer about how as a person is, it's becoming more and more of how the person looks. So I think because of the social media, I mean, 20 years ago we probably didn't know many things that's happening outside of our life, outside of our town, outside of our family and friends. But then right now we can literally just click. It's just a click away, and we tend to get influenced by what people are doing. And I think it's very important to ground ourselves. It's very important to have a time. I keep telling my friends and my families and people I meet that it's so important to have me time, because when you're able to live on your own and have that me time, I think you don't need anybody to define you, right? But at the same time, it's important to live in a society where we are social animals. It's so important to live in a society. So having a me time doesn't mean that we don't hang out with people, or we are not acquainted with other people. But then having the ability to accept who I am and not being bothered by what is happening outside of me, because I think there is nobody like me or nobody like you. We're all unique people. So having that capacity, that ability to accept who I am, appreciating myself, understanding that I am here for a purpose, right? All of us here are here for a purpose on this journey on this planet, and understanding that I am here for a bigger purpose, not just to get influence. I think having those few groundings can really help us not to get influenced by negatively. I'm not talking about positive influences, but then negatively, and that's also one of the huge, the cause of depressions and anxiety, and suicidal rates are quite high, because young people are getting influenced by what is on the media, what is on the social media, and they're trying to define themselves through the social media. And I just want to say that we don't have to allow the social media to define us. We have to define ourselves, and most importantly, I think to better work on our own happiness, because people cannot give us happiness. It's the happiness is within. So as long as we're happy, I think most of the time we would be grounded, we would be mindful, we would be more cautious of what's happening around me and even to me. Yes, so I just want to tell everybody that you're also beautiful and unique, and just appreciate yourself and just be happy with who you are.
Amazing, amazing. Wow. This, like, the last line which you said was really amazing. It's like, love yourself. That's the most important thing. So the points which you mentioned, again, I think they can be briefly put together as self-esteem, I believe. And so relating self-esteem with Preeti, if you could shed some light on, self-esteem here, especially, which is very important for you, I believe. So if you can just shed some light, please. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Ridvik. Actually, self-esteem, like I'll take it up from Sankhe, actually, when she said that these days social media is defining what a youth is, or every youth allows the social media rather to define them, which is very true, because see, first of all, let me tell you, in today's day, we cannot think of surviving without social media, actually. Especially when you see during the pandemic for last 1.5, 2 years, we've seen how social media and technology has come to our help, actually. I mean, it's been a big help for our corporates, for our school students, for our college students, for everybody for that matter, for a mother like me whose children are studying abroad, whose husband lives away from the city, and still I was connected with everybody, so definitely social media is a blessing, is a boon, but then it is up to us how much we use it in a positive way and how much we allow social media to impact us in the negative way. So I think the youth today is not able to justify the use of social media, or they are not able to balance the use of social media. Like Sankey was just telling me, it is the social media that is defining the youth today. I as a youth, my life is known to everybody today because I put everything on social media. I put everything on Insta story and Snapchat story, when I'm waking up, when I'm sleeping, what I'm eating, with whom I'm going out, with whom I'm spending time, when I'm having a breakup. I mean, my life is an open book to anybody and everybody, to my friends, to my family, to the people who are unknown to me, and then the youth is so much dependent on social media that the feedback that they get on the social media, like on the Twitter, the feedback they get on Twitter, the comments that they get on Facebook, Snapchat on their pictures, that affects them so much. They get a particular number of likes and they feel, wow, they are on the seventh heaven. I'm the best looking person. And in case they don't get enough number of likes, or in case they get any negative comments, they are just not able to take it positively. And this impacts them so badly that they go into anxiety, they go into depression, and and these feedbacks from the social media defines what they are going to do. I mean, it defines what music they are going to listen to, it defines what clothes they are going to wear, it defines what career they are going to opt for. I mean, this never used to happen like 10-15 years back. I mean, we never used to decide what I never used to decide what I'm going to wear or where I'm going to eat tonight with my family based on social media feedback, right? So now you know how much the youth is dependent on social media feedback and how it can negatively impact their self-esteem if the things don't go according to what they are expecting or according to the trend. For example, I as a youth, if I put up some party pictures and somebody just has given some bad comments or somebody is body shamed me, I immediately go into, it impacts me negatively. I immediately go into depression. Then I need therapies, then I need to go see the doctor, then I need to go and see a counselor. I mean, see what it's leading to, So, but then I feel that we should have a balance of the use of social media as well, because sometimes I also get carried away morning when I'm checking my phone on my breakfast table. I'm seeing important messages, and then these important messages lead to some other messages that leads to some other IGTV screens, and there I'm lost, and 1.5 hours gone, you know. So that is the place where we need to have control on ourselves, and that this is the time when we need to have a hygiene over the use of social media,
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Preeti. Amazing pointers there. I mean, the most important thing is balance, and that will lead to, a positive self-esteem among us, everyone. So moving on, Risha, being an avid social media user and probably the youngest among us today. So how do you believe that scrolling through social media is influencing or inspiring us? Because social media influencers are very important term these days also. So what do you have?
So I personally think that the term social media influencer is quite misinterpreted. I think it's used for almost everyone who has, a certain amount of following, or, who has their videos going viral. But I think essentially influencer is someone who influences your life on a daily basis. And I don't think there's a lot of, users who are actually quite capable of doing that. So looking up to certain people is wrong. But I agree with Preeti ji and Sankey ji, and I do agree that youth are quite dependent on it. That yes, I do decide what I'm gonna eat and what I'm gonna wear based on social media. But I think it's more than that. I learn so much, just scrolling through Instagram, even, I scroll through memes. But then there's also like, a lot that I learn. I learn about people, I learn about, let's say, certain disorders, I learn about random facts. But then there's also a lot that I learn from it. And I think where self-esteem stands, you do tend to compare yourself to a lot of, perfect, the ideal body type, women, men who are there on social media, and that could be harmful to you. But I think that's a balance as well. You learn a lot, but then it also negatively impacts you quite a lot. Like, I personally know a lot of people who have no posts on social media, and I think initially it started off as being a public digital diary, or just having fun with your friends, connecting with people. And now it's gone to a much more negative, and people focus so much on what to post. Like, let's say I'll take 200 pictures, but I won't even post one of them because I don't feel pretty enough or thin enough or good enough in them. So I think it has to be evenly balanced, like you said.
Great, great. Yeah, I mean, it's about, I mean, I think you've shared some amazing points on the positive effects of social media. Before moving on, Sankey had mentioned a very important point of that we all are here for a bigger purpose. So, Gayatri, if you could shed some light on that, and also something about Prishota said, like, you learn a lot. So if you can talk about, how we can learn and also unlearn a certain things what we read on social media. So what's that purpose, and also learning and unlearning, if you could shed some light, please.
Sure. Thank you, Rugved, and great points. I mean, I really enjoyed listening to the conversation past few minutes. Yeah. So the bigger purpose, or whatever we feel we are here to do, something or the other, we all know we want to do in this life. So I'll just share a quick, very simple, quick story, kind of an example. Let's see if it resonates with everyone. So we all know that lion is the king of the jungle, right? So lion is usually seen as the king, or the one who's the mightiest in the jungle. But let's say we have all seen the movie Lion King, right? Wherein Simba somehow leaves his family and goes and lives somewhere else, and he's brought up in a certain way where he stops behaving like a lion. He doesn't behave like a lion anymore. So just imagine that, if somebody is a lion, you have that kind of a power and strength and everything inside you, the might inside you. But if you forget that you are that, what will happen? So if the lion forgets that he's the king of the jungle, then any small animal can come and, threaten the lion. Or, like a little tiny mouse also can go and climb on the head of the lion and sit there and play around, right? So this is exactly how the points that everybody mentioned here, that, we're using the social media. Of course, I personally use it, and I think it's important. I mean, from my own personal life, I know that in the past 2 years, when the lockdown happened, and we were all in different places there, I saw my now 18, 19-year-old nephew grow up on WhatsApp video calls. And that's such an important part of my life because of the love that I share with him. So yes, it's important. But yes, I mean, we have to also remember that we are what we are. So the lion has to remember that the lion has that might, has that power and the strength. Somewhere what Sankey was also mentioning earlier, that if you give that power to someone else, you will eventually become a slave to that, right? So same way, if it's great that we are all on social media. It's a great way to communicate. But what are we taking from there is something we can filter, and something that we can, see and judge our own self. And And we'll know more as we progress also in today's conversation, I guess, that we'll understand that a little more. So since Rugved, you asked me about the purpose. Well, the purpose is especially for youth, because it's slightly off the conversation, but for youth, it's very, very important and easy also to realize what is the purpose of your life, because you will be naturally drawn towards it. You will naturally be drawn towards it. Like I know, I mean, many of us have tried different things, and then we know that internally my heart resonates with this, and I want to do this, and this is what I'm happiest doing. And I forget about everything else when I'm doing this.
Positive feeling towards.
Yeah, exactly. And all of us have that. All of us have that one thing at least in our lives. So that will help you if you're able to identify that. That will help you in moving forward towards purpose.
Great.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So okay, moving on now. Next big thing, human interactions, okay, have changed not only because of the rise in use of social media, but as technology as whole, especially during the pandemic, families within cities couldn't meet each other for months on, and it was social media, it was video calls, Zoom, everything, which kept everyone connected. It didn't feel like you're far away. I mean, and it was a tough time for a lot of people. This connection, what effect it had on our interpersonal relationships. Also, because having a healthy relationship, I believe, is important for a positive mental hygiene. So Preeti, here, if you could shed some light on, how were these connected, and how can we keep how do we have positive relationships, and how are they important on our mental health hygiene?
Thank you for the question, Rigved. So definitely, again, as everybody said, social media is a very important part of our life today, and it has also helped us to keep our mental peace in place, especially during these difficult times of the pandemic, wherein the parents, children who are living abroad, parents couldn't visit them, especially the old and sick parents who couldn't visit them. The children couldn't come and visit the sick parents. But because of the social media today, they were still connected. They felt connected because they could see each other almost every day. In fact, 4 or 5 times in a day as well. जो कि पास रहने से भी we don't sometimes meet our parents so often, but even if we are in the same city, we don't meet our parents so often. But because of the social media, life was made much easier, and there the relationships were made stronger, and the relationships kept in place, and especially I think many people would relate to the fact that those who suffered with COVID and they were admitted in the hospitals, nobody was allowed to see them, nobody was allowed to visit them. Still, people were connected to their families. Still, the families felt better when they could see their patients in the hospital doing well, taken care of, etc. So definitely, no doubts that social media is not having a positive impact on us. But again, as I said, balance. Where is the balance? And to what extent are we going to use social media to dominate in our lives? As Gayatri just mentioned, the very good anecdote that she gave of the Lion King movie. We are allowing social media to rule us. Actually, that is what is happening, because we don't know where to draw that line, where to draw that, use or not to use, or when to use, or how much to use. For example, in a family, these days we have neutral families in towns and cities, and a family of 4, family of 3, everybody is busy with their own equipments. The father is a corporate or a businessman, busy with his work online. Mother is busy with her work online. Children are busy with their work, school, college, and other social media activities. So how are they communicating with each other? Actually, within the family also, people are communicating with each other on WhatsApp. I mean, just imagine what kind of a relationship are they sharing. Youth today, we used to have our friends, we used to go out in the evenings. We used to meet our friends, and people must be thinking, "कुछ काम नहीं है इन लोगों को, ऐसे घूमते रहते हैं." But that was the way we used to bond with our friends. In those days, we used to we used to talk about our health issues. We used to talk about our relationships. We used to discuss. We used to get feedback from our friends. Today's youth, what kind of a relationship are they having with their friends? Where is that true friendship? Online friends whom they've not even met sometimes. How much can they rely on them, or how much can they have faith on these kind of friends? These same friends we post pictures, and these same friends who call themselves as your online friends will body shame you, will bully you, will stalk you. So you know what kind of relationship it's leading to? Not at all strong relationships. So especially within a family where a child is not able to have that quality time with the parents. There was a time before the social media came into being. There was a time when everybody would sit together on the dining table for dinner and watch the news and talk about the day-to-day happenings. I don't really think this is happening in today's day. Even on the dinner table, maybe people are not even sitting together. Even if they're sitting together, they're all with their mobiles, their laptops, their tablets, or iPads, or whatever equipment. So you can imagine where this is leading to. So again that hygiene is really important. कि आप कितना यूज कर सकते हो सोशल मीडिया, किस हद तक आपको यूज करना चाहिए सोशल मीडिया, या कैसे यूज करना चाहिए.
So,
And it is हाँ जी.
yeah, sorry. So I just want to know, like, as you spoke about relationships, right? So why is a healthy relationship important for your mental health? If you could share some.
Obviously, healthy relationship is important, because tomorrow, if I have, for example, I am a youth and I have some stress about my studies or my exams, who do I go and share it with?
Okay.
With my friends,
Yeah.
with my family, right? I need somebody to talk it out to. I can't talk it out to a computer. I can't talk it out or to my friends on Snapchat or on WhatsApp. How much will I talk on? Even if you talk or chat on Snapchat or WhatsApp or whatever social media, do you get that emotion? Do you get that feeling?
True.
Do you understand the tone of the person? All those things do not come up. So you need to talk to people one to one. You need to go and meet people. This is important for your personality development.
Mhm.
It is important for your mental development. So I'm sure Trisha can throw some light on this as well. Trisha, what do you think about relationships?
So I think it's just more than, staying in touch with your family. And I mean, there could be friends who probably live a little far away and it's not very easy to meet, very regularly. So it's easier for me to communicate with them through social media. And I personally have online friends, and there have been times where I felt closer to them than any other friends that I've had in real life. So I think, other than the exception of like literal child predators or people with like bad intentions, or just the general exposure to inappropriate images or text, I think social media has really helped a lot of people find communities for themselves. Let's say, someone who's a part of the LGBTQ community, and it's not very easy or common, especially in India, I'd say, to find that type of group, that type of community in real life. So where do I go? I go online, and it's just so easy for me to find people who are like me, who get me, who get my struggles, or who I can talk to, maybe learn from, or give some of my knowledge to. So I think it really helps youth, I'd say. While it is a little dangerous to rely on it, it kind of helps us feel like we do fit in somewhere. And sometimes we don't always get that in real life. Sometimes it's not easy for me to meet all of my friends, or someone I do want to meet, let's say they shifted or they live like cities away from me. So I think that's when it really comes into play, and helps me not just find a community but find like real friends. Maybe I'll meet them someday, but yeah.
Nice. I like the point where you mentioned that social media has help people find communities where they relate to. Amazing. I mean, that's a great thought. Sankey, if you could shed some light on, again, same thing which I asked Preeti here, that how can a youth better their relationships with everyone, not just their parents, friends, like everyone, friends, parents, if they are in a relationship, like they have a boyfriend or boyfriend, if they're seeing someone or something like that. So all these relationships, what are the important points to have a better relationship, and also what effect does it have on one's mental health?
Right. I think if I have to talk about healthy relationship, it's more about quality than the quantity. It doesn't matter that, about spending so much time with one person and you don't have that quality. So I think it comes back to, again, being conscious. I really like the word conscious living, because I think it allows us to be conscious of ourselves. It allows us to be conscious of what's happening around us. And I like the fact that we all actually have our sixth sense, very active. And I think it's just about making a choice. We have been given the freedom to be able to choose what we want to wear, what we want to eat, where we want to live. I think the beauty of just the fact that we have a freedom, I think it allows us to choose. And I think if we learn to make healthy choices, then automatically I think it also allows us to be in a healthy relationship. And because with the usage of technology, I think there are also a lot of other physical health issues. For example, the blue rays from the phone is really bad for the eye, and then it interrupts your sleep. So that's why if you use your phone before sleep, it impacts your brain. It changes the brain chemical activity. That's why most people cannot sleep, right? So there are a lot of physical other health activities. For example, you can develop neurological issues if you don't sleep, and if you are, actively just being on a screen, then you're not moving anymore. And human beings are meant to move, right? From the ancient times, we know that human beings, even though we have been evolving, but we were made to move. So if you're not moving, then the chances of the health issues, heart issues, and if you are constantly on the phone and not moving, then it also impacts your immune system. It impacts the metabolism. So that's why young people, when they're sitting playing video games, they don't get up, they don't feel hungry, because your body is not moving. It was made to move, right? So it impacts us in a various ways. And also coming back to saying about physical health, I think it's also important. I keep saying that whoever said the word excess of everything is not good, I think it comes back to that. Video games, if you play it for 45 minutes, it increases focus, it helps in bettering your concentration. But if you go beyond that, then it becomes an abuse. In the same way, if you take a paracetamol when you have a headache, it helps you. But if you don't know how to use that medicine, then you would be abusing it, and it's only going to cause you a problem. In the same way with food, I think we cannot excessively eat food, because if we eat when we're not hungry and when we're already full, we know what would happen to the body, right? So I think it comes back to knowing when to use, why to use, and then the purpose of using it.
I think I think our fingers are well in shape because of social media. Everything else is off. So thank you again. Thank you. So next we will move on to, again, we've spoken about this. I mean, we've learned now about relationships with others. Gayatri, if you could shed some light on relationship with the self. I think that's also important to know. I mean, the concept and why is it important? So
Yeah. Thanks, Rugved. I think some of the words that came up recently in many of the other, the other panelists' conversation, they're such amazing words like being conscious of how you make your choices, the sense of community and belongingness, and the balance of the whole thing. So, see, we all know that whatever whatever we are experiencing in the world outside, whether it's with my relationships with other people, whether it's my own physical body and the motivation that I have to do things, etc. Everything is a reflection of the state that I feel inside. Everything that I experience outside in the world is a reflection of what I feel within me. So thus it then becomes very important that before we try to understand relationships with other people, how is my relationship with myself? And how some of the points that had earlier come up, that seeing a certain body type, seeing a certain kind of lifestyle choices, and seeing people as their role models, and trying to become like someone else is not really the best idea. So if one is facing challenges with relationships, because relationships play an important role, we get to express ourselves through relationships, right? So how is my relationship with myself? What are the kind of thoughts that go inside my head all the time? Is it about the fact that, oh, somebody else looks better than me? Or is it about the fact that somebody else is doing better in their life than what I am doing? Is it about self-doubt, criticism? And that is the stuff we need to look at and check once. Because slowly, gradually, what happens is that any thought that stays inside us for a long period of time becomes part of our personality. I really actually experienced this. So I remember that I started saying that I'm not punctual, that, I can't reach on time. I'm not punctual. And I saw a pattern happening then. So because I was just saying this, even in my conversations with other people, I actually started to believe that I'm not punctual as an individual. And it's through the help of our mentor, YGPT's mentor, Maitreya Dadashriji, that I eventually understood that it was all in my head, in my mind, that this thought pattern which got created was all in my mind. And if I change that conversation that I'm having with myself, the whole narrative can change. The whole story can change. So just by saying, changing the word that I'm not punctual, I started saying that, okay, I can make it on time. I'll try to make it on time. Just shifting that bit itself brought in a change. So relationship with other people is also dependent on my relationship with myself. If I'm not happy, I can't give happiness. It's as simple as that.
So something like probably people can practice positive affirmation or something like that.
Yes.
That's it. So
Yes.
some examples if you could give to our audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how we when we look into the mirror, it has become part of our conditioning that we will only look for flaws. It's become part of the whole conditioning. There are so many women as well as you, Rugved, you're part of this conversation. We all know when we look into the mirror, we find another new wrinkle or a spot or something that is, or the hair that's graying. So, but let's shift the perspective a little. So let's for a change, let's look into the mirror and see, okay, I have nice eyes, or I have a smile which represents kindness. It gives that kindness and compassion in just what I have. So these little things can help. And what the people who are listening in, if you have a few areas in your life where you feel you need to improve, like for me, it was about the punctuality and time management. If there's anything else like that in anybody's life, you can make a note of it and try to twist that statement, change it in a positive direction, and start saying this, that, okay, I can make it on time. I am a punctual person. I am beautiful the way I am. I have everything that I need. I am blessed with all the resources that I need to become what I want to be. So just shift the focus from the things that are pulling us down to the things that can uplift us and manifest it for us.
I want to be less lazy. I want to less procrastinate.
So
I think
just-
those are also very important for us.
So Rubit, start saying I'm energetic. Just start saying I'm energetic.
Yeah, so thank you. That's a good one.
Thanks, Rubit.
Noting that down and starting tonight. So amazing. Yeah. Thank you for this positive affirmations. Actually, I'm sure I think we all can, start using those. I guess, that'll start developing that sense of positiveness within us. So thank you again. The next and the last topic would be social media and our overall well-being. So first up, I think we've covered a lot of points. It's just like this could be like summarizing, like how social media affects our overall well-being. So we'll start with Krisha here. And what are your thoughts on this?
I think, like I said, it's about finding the right balance, limiting your screen time. And yes, it is a fact that people who use social media more are more prone to certain psychological disorders or conditions or state of mind. But I think it also has its, pros. So it's a boon, it's a bane, but it's all about finding the right balance. Yeah, there's nothing new that I'd like to add.
Cool. Amazing. So you said screen time, picking that because that is something practically people all of us, like everyone needs to, like we always, like I hear my sister telling her, like, to her daughter, like, that's your screen time. That's it. So out of 24 hours, you just get half an hour, whatever, like screen time. So how much screen time is good? How does excess screen time affecting our body and mind? Santi, if you could shed some light, probably, more on a practical terms where people can, everyone here can follow those.
Yeah, okay. Regret that was for me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, okay. So just like before I was explaining about how it impacts our physical and mental health. And I think in the beginning, you also mentioned about how there can't be us without mental health, right? So it's interrelated, and it's like a vicious cycle. If your mind is affected, it affects your body as well. If your body is affected, then it's your mind as well. So from having heard from all of us here, we all know that it needs to be balanced. And all of us, like I mentioned in the beginning as well, I am also quite active on social media, but I am not, I don't spend 5-6 hours. I have a limit on Instagram that only 1 hour in a day. And as soon as I wake up in the morning, I don't look at my phone, because I did not wake up to, just be scrolling through my phone. The first thing I do, the alarm goes off, I wake up, I do what I have to do, my yoga and all those things. And then it's when I go to work, so there are different routines that I have set it for myself so that I am not spending 4 or 5 hours using my phone. And then also, we have also heard about human relationships and all those, the importance of human relationship. And I find that for me,
I think there seems a little bit of internet problem there. So okay, we'll just hold on for like a minute, 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and
Rigved, meanwhile, we can request our audience to send in questions if there are any.
oh yeah, you all can, please go ahead if you have questions for anyone specific here on our panel, or just general questions. Please, you can send across, type them out. Also, okay. So moving on, like when she can continue when she's back. Holistic well-being. Gayatri, if you could shed some line of some points on that,
Yes, thank you, Rigved. I think this is very, very important. And today is the World Mental Health Day. And we are all here because of that one cause, that We all feel that it's such an important thing to be spoken about and to be, addressed at this point of time. So especially in the last few months, there have been very, very intense situations that people have gone through. More often than not, we have struggled to express ourselves, sometimes because we don't have the people we can express to, or sometimes because of the situations that we are stuck in. So I just want to share an example actually that our mentor Maitre Dadashriji had shared once with us, that when we talk about mental health, you can imagine this whole thing like a building. So it's, if there is a building which is standing on 4 pillars, if the building is standing on 4 pillars, and you are constantly building floors one on top of the other on that building, and let's say one of the pillars of the building is weak, then what will happen is that the more pressure we start putting on it, the other 3 pillars will have to support. And eventually there will be a breaking point. There will come a point wherein, that building will not be able to take the weight and it will collapse. So this is exactly how our mental health operates. So that weak pillar, or this whole, the example that we took is this whole condition of collapse is the condition of depression. And this piling on, or, building one floor on top of the other and the other is the stress that we take. So stress becomes the source for a situation like depression that many people experience. In fact, it's quite actually it's quite alarming that the number of people who are experiencing stress, elongated stress, and as a result of that, the situation of depression. So so looking forward and moving forward in this direction itself, Rugved, what is important for us to know and understand is, and I shared this a while back also, that any thought that remains within us for a long period of time, if it is not treated, if it's not, you don't express it to anyone, let's say it's a low thought, it is pulling you down. It could be anything. It could be you don't feel supported. It could be that you feel you are not achieving enough in your life. It could be anything. But if that thought is pulling your energy down, then do not let it do so for more than 3 days. For more than 3 days. If you are in that situation for more than 3 days, it is going to become a permanent state for you. Also, if one is experiencing this feeling of, being low, not being able to take decisions, feeling confused, not feeling motivated, and this has continued for a period of time, then please seek help. Please seek help. So there are 2 things that I would like to share here, that as a practical thing that our audience can do. So if you are going through a situation which is not a happy place, you are not happy in that situation, and you want to change it, you want to come out of it, but somehow you're feeling stuck, you don't know what to do. As simple as that, you don't know what to do. The first thing that we have to do is to change this thought pattern itself. Try to pause and try to see, why am I feeling like this? Is it like one of those things that I used to tell myself that I'm not punctual? Is it one of those things that I'm not good enough? I am not loved. Nobody loves me. Is it one of those things that I'm telling myself? So just pause and try to correct it, change it. Okay. So that it does not become a permanent thought pattern inside of you. Our brain, right? Everyone knows that our brain is very special. It has something called neuroplasticity, which is an ability to adapt, constantly change and adapt. So whether you put in good things inside it, it will adapt to that, or you put bad things, bad in the sense negative things inside it, it will adapt to that also. So please break the chain of the negativity that's flowing in. Just pause and stop. So that's the first thing. Please correct your mind, correct the thought patterns. And the second thing that can be done is, please express yourself. please express yourself. So if you have a friend, a confidant, you have somebody in your life who can listen to you, who you feel would be non-judgmental in listening to you, please go to them and talk to them. If you don't have a friend like that, if you don't have any family member like that, you take out your own time. You can even, some of us have pets and we love our pets and treat them like, they're our real friends. So you talk to your pet also, that's okay. Express, bring it out, empty yourself. And you can even take help, professional help and support. So please, if you know a counselor, if you know somebody who can provide you with the professional support to come out of that state, please go ahead and do it. So in many of our Let's Talk conversations also, Rugved, if you remember, and Krisha, if you remember, we've spoken about this, that instead of shutting the doors and windows, step out and ask for help, and there will be help available for sure. So one such platform we have in Maitribodh and in YGPT, which is called I Listen You. I Listen You. We'll request our host to share the link in the chat so that everybody can access it. I Listen You is it's a free service open for anyone. And it's a space of non-judgmental listening. So there would be, if you wish to express yourself, you can log in and join one of the sessions. You can book a session. There would be somebody on the other hand who will be listening to you. They will not pass judgments. They will not give you suggestions and solutions. They will not say what is right and what is wrong. They will just listen to you. Because in today's time, I think that bit is missing, that nobody is there to listen. Everybody is there to share and speak. So, and this itself, and I know I personally experienced it, and I'm sharing from that it is such a relieving process. You feel relieved because you know that load or the burden you were carrying on your chest has suddenly been lifted off. So that's something we can do. So please, if you are going into a negative thought pattern, break the chain. Please stop telling your mind and yourself the same thing, that you're not good enough. Please break the chain and please express to somebody. Please go and talk to somebody. Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow. Really amazing like that. Yes, I agree. We need to express ourselves. So we got a lot of questions. So, and they're not specific to anyone, so first one is, how to use social media? If someone wants to take that up, I know it's a bit generic, but yeah, I mean, I guess if certain practical pointers to it.
I would say wisely. That's definitely the sum of, using social media. And I think we have spoken in great detail how it is not a bad thing. As long as you're using it for a purpose, as long as, so it's helping people earn as well, right? So it's not a bad platform. But if you abuse it, and if you don't know how to use it, then that becomes a problem. So anything excessive becomes a problem. So I think just being conscious and just being mindful and, we are all wise human beings. And I think just being able to use that wisely, I think that is just the way forward.
Great. Yes. Then next one would be, okay, what's the role of social media influencers in directing youth to positive content? I believe, Krisha, do you want to take this up? Role of social media influencers.
Can you just repeat the question actually?
What's the role of social media influencers in directing youth to positive content?
Okay. I think as long as there are influencers, like I said, that the term is quite misinterpreted. Anyone with a decent amount of following is called an influencer, but I don't believe that's what it is. When someone has a power to influence people's lives on a daily basis in the most positive way possible, I think that person is truly an influencer and not just, someone with a lot of followers. They do have the influence, but they shouldn't, be entitled to the um, title, I'd say, of being called an influencer. So yeah, anyone who's maybe encouraging you to do better, be better, live better, healthier, positively, I think that's who you could label as an influencer, or maybe yeah.
So I think summarizing it, I mean, if you believe you're influencing someone, then spread more positivity, less hate, guys. Come on.
Rigved, just one point I'll add to what Krisha said here.
Yeah.
It's also who we choose to associate with. For example, you want to achieve something, and you follow that particular individual who has achieved it, will help you and motivate you also to achieve it. So that's just a point to that.
Yeah, true. Okay. Next one. How can people with social anxiety step up in the current society where socializing has become a must for in every domain? Preeti, yeah.
Yes, I think I'll go with the question. Rigved,
You want me to repeat it?
Yes.
Yeah. So how can people with social anxiety step up in the current society where socializing has become a must in every domain?
So again, first of all, if a person recognizes that he or she suffers with social anxiety, or he or she has social anxiety, then they should ask for help, because there is help available for these issues. There are therapies available, there are professionals who will help you to overcome these issues. So that is the first and the foremost thing. And then again, as Sankeji mentioned in her talk and even in her answer to the earlier question, that you should not allow social media to overpower you. You should just, if we allow social media to overpower us, anxiety is definitely going to increase. And to have a control on social media, you need to define your social media use time. You need to define how much you socialize on social media. If you have defined it, if you are doing it well within limits, you're good enough. Anything in excess, again, will lead to problems. So, and Sankeji has given very good examples to make people understand this. Yeah. So, but definitely, if a person feels that he or she suffers with social anxiety, they should seek for help. And help is available at every stage, at every level.
Wait, can I just add something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I think, we have heard about Kanika talking about asking the why question. So, it's not about I'm afraid or I can't socialize, but then asking, why am I anxious, right? It could be because of some event in life. It could be because somebody says something to you that now you believe that person. So I think asking, why am I anxious, right? Why do I have social anxiety? That could also help you find answer. And at the same time, just because we have to socialize doesn't mean we have to socialize, all the time, every day, right? Sometimes it's important to just filter the group of people that I want to socialize, which I normally do. I don't think it's humanly possible for us to be socializing every day and everywhere and, going, every places. So I think filtering with who I want to socialize, what I want to socialize. For example, my social community is more about climbing because I like climbing, or people who practice yoga. I'm not the party kind of a person, although I love live music. So, I filter. So I think it's important to filter what you want and not follow what the crowd is doing. And that could definitely help all of us. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. So one last question. How can we curb our addiction to social media? I guess that's the first step, that agreeing that you're addicted to social media. So yeah, I mean, if someone wants to take this up, how can we curb our addiction to social media? Yeah, yes, please.
I think one of the best ways is to identify about our interests, about our hobbies, and take it up. Or if you don't have any hobbies, then do take some hobby up other than being on the screen. There are so many things that one can take up. Do get into meditation. See, even if you are using social media, you're an avid social media user, use social media for things like yoga and different workout, and go out, go join a running group and start running, do exercises, learn some dance, some music. There's so many things to keep yourself engaged so that you don't spend a lot of time on social media. Do some social work, do some go teach some children. There are so people require your skills and talent. Go out in the world, step out. There are 10,001 things that you can take up. So this is one of the ways to keep one away from the social media issues.
Addiction. Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm going to add something to that.
Yes.
So one of the main reason for getting addicted is because your brain releases something called dopamine, right? So when you feel good, for example, in the beginning, you're probably getting a new phone or iPhone or, whatever phone. And then, you start using it, you feel good, right? So your brain is releasing dopamine. So your brain is going to ask you for more of it. Right. In the same way, so the dopamines are released when we are happy, when we go and do exercises, when we do something we like, it releases dopamine. That's why we keep doing it over and over again. And in the same way, that's how it works with addiction when it comes to substance abuse, alcohol addiction, any form of addiction, because your brain starts to release dopamine and then your memory tells you that, oh, I felt good doing that. So, it keep asking for more. So I think understanding, yourself, learning to pause. I think Metri has spoken a lot about learning to pause. So I think learning to pause and then, just because we're all resilient and believing in yourself. I think believing in yourself that I'm resilient, I'm capable of doing this, I'm capable of coming out of this addiction. And then asking why again. And then I think Priti has also, mentioned about seeking help. So, seeking help doesn't mean that you're weak. You're actually being courageous to go forward and ask for help, right? So I think just if we can just follow these few little guidelines, then obviously it could be of great help. Yeah.
Yes, I think, thank you. That last point is very important. Again, like seeking help is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a sign of being courageous. So yeah. So on that note, Gayatri is going to talk about the T of YGPT, which is Youth for Global Peace and Transformation. And also she's going to take us through an exponential process to kind of feel what we've heard today. So Gayatri, to you now.
Thank you. I think, Preeti, do you want to say something before that? I think you unmuted now.
Yes, I just wanted to tell this to everybody who's around here now, that first, one thing is to identify that you have an issue. Sometimes that becomes difficult when a person suffers with anxiety or a person is getting into depression. It becomes very difficult for the person himself or herself to identify the problem. As you said, Gayatri ji, when you know that for 3 days you're not feeling normal or you're not feeling good, then ask for help or manifest positive feelings. One is that, but other thing I would also like to tell everybody that while you are in a family or while you're with your friends, and if you see any of your family members or friends who are undergoing such an issue, if the friend is closing himself or herself down, not mixing too much with people, not interacting with people, if you think there is a change in the person, then this is a sign that the person needs help, and then you have to tell the person, or you have to take the person to somebody who can help you out. This is another thing and very important thing that one should keep in mind. And the moment you feel that the person in front of you is not behaving in the regular way, or is he not his normal self, then please know that this could be a sign of mental health sickness. Or and mental, mind you, please let me make it very clear to everybody that mental health sickness is not really bad. It's not a taboo word. Mental health sickness is really not a taboo word. It is like any other sickness that we have. It's like any common cold. It's like flu. It's like a fever for which we see a doctor. We take
It's
a
curable. It's
paracetamol.
curable.
Yeah, like we take
Horrible.
a paracetamol, we take an antihistamine. Same thing goes with mental health. It is just a small little sickness, or it's just a small little bug that is gotten, and it can be removed. So please ask for help. Very important that please seek help. Please reach out.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, PTG. I think that's a very important point, and I mean, it's sometimes it's easy to miss because it could be disguised. You like if you're unwell, you have fever, and you can see that your body is warm, and that's a sign that you're unwell. But sometimes we miss out on the signs when it comes to the mental health aspect of things. So let's start with, so before we go into the T of YGPT, I'll just speak a little bit about this also, that so when it what could be the symptom that you are not in a good space and you need support, or you are I would not use the term mental health sickness right away, but then you need some kind of support and you're not happy within. One of those things would be that you would not be motivated to do something. There are days when you would not want to come out of your bed. You would not want to get up. You will not want to show up and not go to you would miss your lectures or miss your friends' birthday parties and not want to be around people and try to shell yourself. So these kind of becomes like symptoms of how you can identify that, okay, like the body is warm when I have fever. Similarly, maybe now I need some support when it comes to my mental health. So one of the biggest assets of human mind is that we are able to take decisions. We are able to distinguish between what is good for us and what is not. And somehow when we are in that state of, either depression or any sort of a mental unwell state, one of the first faculties that go off in our brain is the power to take right decisions for ourselves. We do not understand what to do. We are like, there's a saying called headless chicken. It becomes something like that, but inside our brain. It's not outside, but it's happening inside the brain. So you can't physically see it. So to help you come out of this situation, the T of YGPT, which is Youth for Global Peace and Transformation, this transformation can help. What transformation does is that it helps you take those decisions for yourself. What transformation helps you to do is, how we were talking about the lion and Simba in The Lion King, who forgot that he's a lion and who forgot that he could do something, do something so courageous. He thought that he was just like one of the other animals in the jungle. Same way, when we try to compare ourselves with others, when we try to associate ourselves with an idea that we have created, that, okay, I am like this. Even for those people who are influencers on social media, even for them, they have a reputation to keep up to. And that becomes a stress for them. That how do I now live up to this? So how do I continue to have the fan following that I have? So anytime there is a false identity that we create based on the outside, whatever we have seen outside, that, oh, I need to look like this, I need to talk like this, I need to behave like this. The moment you start associating with any of that, it will start building pressure within you to live up to that. And that's what most of the time happens with us, that, okay, this, like Krisha was saying, that the 200 pictures taken, but not even one posted, because you don't think you look like the role, you look like the character, right? So transformation helps you shed these layers of what is acquired from outside, and helps you connect to your true self, who you really are. So then when this shift happens, right, when you internally shift and change, everything else falls into place. Then you know what kind of people to follow on Instagram so that you get motivated. So if you want to do a headstand, if anybody practices, some kind of yoga or any exercise, and you want to do a headstand, eventually you end up following people who can do headstand and observe their technique. And that's a good use of social media. I feel motivated that I need to do this. So associating with your true nature, true quality, waking up in the morning and opening Instagram, but you see a post which really makes you happy, which makes you feel very positive in the morning. That's going to make your day. That's going to carry forward in your entire day, right? So social media, like we said, is not good, not bad. It's a tool. The way we use it, that's in our hands. And transformation will help you to associate yourself with your true identity. And eventually then the use of social media falls into place. So depression or mental health illnesses somewhere stop or defunk our ability to take good decisions for ourselves, because it is overwhelming inside of you, and transformation can help you in boosting that ability to take the right decisions for yourself. See, we all know that whether somebody believes in a superpower, a higher power or not, or you believe in universe, you believe in God, you believe in something or not, but we all definitely know that it is something somewhere is making our heart beat and making it pump the blood into our body. Something is making sure that we get the oxygen to breathe and live. Some energy is definitely there, which is making us wake up in the morning and continue with our life. So that is the superpower which is inside of us. And what transformation helps us to do is connect to that superpower. So it's an effortless process, it's a permanent process, and it's open for everyone to experience. So wherever you are sitting, in whichever space you are, whatever age you are at, transformation can help you experience a better, positive life and become a better being yourself in this present, current time. So all that it requires is for you to say yes to it, that I want to become a better person. I want to free myself from all this baggage that I'm carrying, that I need to become something, and just be natural and at ease. That's it. That's it. So if everyone's okay with this, we're going to do a small process. It's going to be a simple prayer, or you can say just closing your eyes and sitting wherever you are, just sitting in a relaxed manner. And what we will do is that we will just focus at the center of our chest. So if somebody knows that if you can call it with different names, but just focus at the center of your chest and sit relaxed and enjoy the rest of the conversation that we will have with our own selves. So we always keep talking to others, but today we'll just take out these 5 minutes and talk to our own self. So if everyone's ready, at least people who are here on Zoom with us, you can give a thumbs up or say a yes if you're okay with it. And those of you who are joining us on the YouTube, you can post a yes in the live chat over there. Okay, great. So we'll begin this short process. So all that is required is for you to sit relaxed. And I'm going to be sharing something over here. Yes. So you can all close your eyes. Relax yourself, be at ease. You can focus on your breath for a while. Just observe as you naturally inhale and exhale. Slowly, let us shift our awareness to the center of our chest. Just be relaxed and continue to focus at the center of our chest. In this journey of our life, where we all are moving forward to achieving something good, something positive for ourselves and for the people around us. Today, let us connect to our own inner self, our higher self, our own heart, to receive that powerful energy, strength, positivity, and guidance to move forward in our life. You may repeat these affirmations. I am capable of achieving my dreams. I have all the strength to fulfill what I wish to achieve in this life. I have all the energy that I need. I am complete the way I am. I'm here to experience happiness, joy, and love in my life. I'm here to share happiness, joy, and love with others. I'm here to become a better human being. I am ready to become a better human being. I am ready to experience transformation in my life. I am ready to experience happiness, positivity, and joy in my life. I say yes to transformation. I say yes to transformation. I say yes to transformation. You can offer your gratitude to the universe, to the highest source of energy, to any power that you believe in, and offer your gratitude to your own highest self present in your heart. Slowly coming back to this moment. Whenever you feel ready, you may gently open your eyes.
Amazing experience, Gayatri. Thank you so much for that. Amazing. It was, I mean, I'm sure everyone must have definitely loved it. So, I mean, just to summarize what we've spoken today, in short, obviously, that balance is very important on how you're using your social media. Be aware, don't be so dependent. Identify what people are saying on social media, what's right, what's wrong for you, and be happy with yourself, be happy with what you've got. Everyone's unique, everyone's good looking, everyone's a nice human being. Try to be a better human being and spread more love. That's what we can end with.
And Rugved, help is always available.
Help is always available, yes. Identify your purpose in life, and I believe this practice of what Gayatri just made us do, just every day 5 to 10 minutes you can give for your mental well-being is by just closing your eyes, watching your breath, and just connecting with the universe. That's helped me to kind of figure out the purpose of my life. Just sharing that, hope it does to everyone here who's watching this. So that's so be stress-free. That's kind of a building block. So all the best to everyone. I would like to thank firstly
Rigved, I just want to say that let's all practice kindness and self-compassion.
Yes.
We're busy showing kindness and compassion to other people, but then I think it's important to do self-kindness and self-compassion.
Yes, very important point. Yes, thank you for adding that. So so ending it, thanks to Maitra Dadashiji, our mentor and guide, professors who have attended, Professor Madhurima, thank you so much. All our panelists for sharing your wonderful thoughts, thank you so much. And especially the tech support who's really helped us for this smooth process, a smooth live. And everyone here who's joined, and hopefully this helped you identify and just got some understanding of how we can better our lives and others' lives others' lives. We at YGPT, our main goal is to empower and transform youth. Also, Earth Embrace in YGPT. Earth Embrace is the climate change awareness campaign under Maitribodh Parivar, where along with YGPT, we do a lot of on-ground activities where we take up cleanup drives and tree plantation drives and so on. YGPT takes up a lot of food distribution drives, sanitary pad distribution, etc. So you can follow us on social media on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I request the tech support to share those handles on the chat so everyone can follow us, share our content, and you will get information about our on-ground activities. So please be part of them. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much. So you can follow our pages, and which will help you. You will come to know what our future events are. Two of them which are immediately coming is, one is how to have a peaceful mind, which is on 24th of October. And on 23rd of October, there's a cleanup drive at Mathiran. If people from Bombay would know, it's 2.5 hours from Mumbai. So all those details you will they'll be shared on our social media handles, and you can then get in touch with us. So again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. All the best. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rigved, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you.